Fran, when Mark Turgeon was in here a few minutes ago talking about how they went small to counteract you guys having gone small, when you're surveying them going small, does it make it, you think, easier or harder to run your system?
You know, I think it's more difficult probably because they can match, they can do a lot of switching and passing people off. But we have those guards who make pretty good decisions no matter who was in the game. And I thought each one of them stepped up and made good shots when the score got as tight as it did, and it was loud as hell in here. But I thought it was a great run that they made. And, trying to guard Stoglin is a difficult chore for us. But I thought all of our guys stepped up, and the best part of the second half for me was the 2 turnovers. So I think that saved us a little bit. Obviously, making timely shots.
Fran, 20 assists. How significant?
Yeah, it's what we try to do, Tom. To be honest with you, we try to be as unselfish as we can. And these are 3 guys that do a pretty good job of it. They all want to score, and we all need them to score. But they all like to give it up as well, and I think that's part of why we are difficult to guard. And again, we had a pretty good second half shooting numbers tonight, so I was proud of our guys.
Frank, you talk about how important what it means to the team that you're able to withstand the run and come back and stretch it out the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's going to come because they're too good a basketball program to not give you a tough challenge at that stretch. We didn't do a good job offensively. I thought we got a little bit tight on offense, a couple of possessions, and again, we did not guard. We let Stoglin catch the basketball a couple of times, and he burned us. That one jumper in the far corner it looked like we were there. It looked like he was falling out of bounds. Just looked like a great shot, but great players will make great shots.
Fran, are you especially pleased because it's now 2 games in a row where a team's cut it to 1 on you, and then you've withstood it, and you've shared the basketball really well down the stretch and made that extra pass to hold them off?
Yeah, I'm more pleased with the sharing the basketball piece. I'm not all that thrilled with cutting it to 1, 2 games in a row. Because again, there's a stretch there. We're building a little bit of a comfort zone. We'd like to continue to build on that, and we fell down a little bit. So, but I'm pleased that we could come out of here with a win today, and it means a lot to our program. And now we have another tough week coming up next week.
When you schedule a game like that in the middle of the conference season, are you thinking Selection Sunday at all? Are you thinking RPI? Are you thinking those kind of benefits?
You know, and I think you're thinking, Jack, here's a great program that we're playing against, and we need to get a win somehow, some way. And I don't think you think anything other than today. I really don't. Now, I can't speak for those student athletes that I have an opportunity to coach. I don't know what's going through their mind half the time. But I know as a coach and as a preparer of our teams, we need to be thinking about today. We haven't been all that successful on Saturdays, by the way, so we needed to kind of find a way to win this game. And because of our 3 guys up front, or out front, I think they did a great job tonight.
You not mind having a game like that in the middle of the conference season, or would you prefer it earlier?
Here's what I would say to you, that if you get a chance to play a quality program like Maryland, you play them anytime that you can get them. Last year we did it late in the season with Duke. These are important games for our program. It's a signature game that we tell everybody we're playing an ACC team with great history and tradition. It's important. So this was the day that they could play us, and that's when we accepted that. And we also talked about, we played them last year at the Verizon Center, and they said we would rather not have to come to your home facility. You didn't have to come to ours. Totally understand that. And they said either Palestra or Wells Fargo, and they came up with Palestra, and it was a great atmosphere here today.
When did you know you would get Mike, and how do you think you managed just get back in the program?
Yeah, we finally, Doc saw him yesterday. We talked at length on Wednesday night after the game, and Doc saw him yesterday and said, all right, give it a go. We'll manage it, manage his minutes. And it's just, I just said to Mike, now he took that one jumper in the second half, which was an important part of the game, but he needed to take that. I don't care if he made it or missed it, he needed to take that to get some of the rust off. And now the next time he steps up, hopefully at Charlotte on Wednesday, he's going to make that same shot. But he needed to take it. So we were thrilled that we could get him as many minutes as we did. And while it was only 7, it was 7 toward getting better.
Do you have like a game plan for that? Is like next game's going to play X amount of minutes, or just off field?
It's all seat of pants.
Do you have any sense of how long that process will be with him, where he's, just kind of working the rest of it?
Yeah, I think he's going to get better because of having played today, he's going to get better. He's going to have more confidence on Monday when he goes to practice. We've talked a lot about it. If your leg bothers you, if you're not doing some things, is it fear or is it pain? If it's pain, that's one thing. We can't be dealing with pain. But if it's fear, he'll work through that. And there's a little bit of that. We talked. He probably had a pretty good chance of getting a defensive rebound in the first half and didn't come up with it. He was angry with himself, but that's going to make him better because he's going to get it. That same rebound he's going to get on Wednesday.
Fran, Coach Sturgeon made multiple remarks about how smart your team is. Jay Wright actually said the same thing after your win over Villanova earlier this year. Can you talk about the basketball instincts, especially of your big three guards in Wyatt, Moore, and Fernandez?
Yeah, I appreciate those comments that both of those coaches made, and I would agree with them. I think their basketball IQs are as good as anybody that I've had an opportunity to coach over the years. And I've coached some really good players and really good guards, and I think those three guys are as good as anybody that I've coached. To the point where, again, you're sitting there on the sideline. There was one play later in the second half where I'm watching one. I tend not to worry about what it is we're going to run. I tend to worry about how we run things. And I saw Juan say to Aaron Brown, you come up, set that ball screen at the top. They're probably going to go with me, and I'll kick it back to you, and you'll shoot the jumper, and you'll make it. And sure enough, that's what happened. But they look for one another, and I think that as good as scorers as they all are, they enjoy passing the basketball just as much, and that makes us a pretty good guard-oriented group.
That comes from you, or do you feel like they've had that?
You know, I think as a coach, you get a feel and a sense that it's okay to shut up, and you don't have to coach every bounce. And with these three guys, you don't have to coach many bounces at all. And I've had other teams and other groups where you felt like you had to coach every possession, but not with this group.
When you have a team, guys like that, it's won NCAA tournament games and won A10 championships, do you do things differently with more experience?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you give them as much leeway. I've asked, I've said to Juan and Khalif and Moan many times, what do you want to run on this set? What's working? You tell me what's working. And they respond accordingly, and they're pretty good about what they come up with.
Fran, I know you talked about scheduling the game at this point in the year, but does it mix it up for your players a little bit also to have the game down here, not just on campus and with the split house and stuff like that?
You know, we certainly love playing at the Liacouras Center, but Philadelphia has a number of different venues that we could play and feel at home with. And we were lucky enough to win the game against Duke at the Wells Fargo. We're lucky enough to win this game at the Palestra. So it's Philadelphia basketball. We're home in Philadelphia, and I thought the crowd was great. I thought Maryland brought a great contingent of fans. And this is, I know our guys were excited to play here today and play Maryland, and they'll be just as excited when they come back to Liacouras next Saturday and play a program like St. Joe's, which we've had such a great history with.
Your winning percentage is over 75% of Palestra. Is there something about Palestra magic for you?
I appreciate that, and I've had, whenever I've coached here, I've had really good teams, really good players. I can assure you it's not my coaching, it's all the players that I've had, and I'm a very fortunate guy.
Fran, what wasn't working inside tonight, and how critical was the action?
Inside? You know, I think their size a little bit. Again, we're asking Anthony to do some things that he's probably not ready yet, but what he does this year is going to help for his future. He turned it over a couple times. We're not an inside-oriented group. I'd like to tell you we have a Olajuwon down there. We don't. We just have Anthony Lee and Rather Jefferson and now Michael Eric, who give us a little bit more presence, but we're not an inside presence group. But we can drive it to the rim, we can drive and kick, and we can get some easy baskets on occasion. So that's what we're trying to do. You just figure it out. You know, I wish we were a more balanced team, but we're not, and we'll try to figure it out as we move on to these final 12.
When Maryland made that run, because you guys were getting a lot of one and done, not able to get offensive rebounds, how important was that possession? I believe with like 3 or 4 minutes left from Moore was diving all over the place, getting you offensive boards.
Well, I think before that we were up 1, and he made a great drive to the rim, and but that's what he does because he's an experienced, seasoned guy who has no fear, and he knew his team needed a basket, and he got it for us. In that same vein, that was a great play that he made, getting the ball back, and then we made a couple of offensive rebounds in one stretch too. Those really helped us. It bought a little time for us. We could rest a little bit on offense, and it demoralizes the opposition when you get those extra possessions.
And is it nice to see grit out of them like that, in addition to the basketball IQ and passing and shooting?
Yeah, I mean, all of them love competing. And when you love to compete, you're going to battle like crazy all the time. Doesn't mean that we make all the right decisions, and I think we're